Tonight, concerns over tuberculosis on campus.
Plus, students showed off their fancy footwork. Stay tuned. TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for November 7th, 2011. I'm Tiffany Lester.
And I am Rachel Ellis. Thank you for joining us this evening. Well, this morning, Troy University students received an email that raised some concerns over a possible case of tuberculosis on campus. Representatives from the Alabama Department of Public Health are on campus this week to try and provide some answers to those concerns. On Friday, November 4th, a Troy University student went to the hospital with symptoms of tuberculosis and tested positive.
They're not attending classes, and they will not be allowed to attend classes until they are deemed no longer infectious.
The Alabama Department of Public Health arrived on Troy's campus Monday morning to begin an investigation, and as of 2:00 p.m. Monday afternoon, they had tested around 60 students and faculty closest to the carrier.
It is not something they need to panic about. It's not something that they need to take lightly either. It's serious, but it's not uncontrollable.
Symptoms of TB include extreme fatigue, fever and night sweats, weight loss, and a productive cough lasting 3 weeks or longer. TB is spread in an airborne form but requires extremely close contact. In order to be infected with the disease, you must be in close quarters for several hours.
Casual contact in a passing in the hallway or in a store or something of that nature would not be considered contact.
And Barrett says not to let rumors or coincidences worry you. And panic often starts with people who don't directly know the person infected.
Someone says, well, I know someone who knows the sick person, or my brother was in a class with this student, and do I need to be tested? And the only person who can spread the germ is the person who is actually sick.
The Department of Health says it will continue testing and treating as long as necessary.
We're doing all that we can to ensure the safety of the students and the faculty.
Students that are concerned whether they have contracted tuberculosis can get tested this week. There will be a station set up in the Trojan Center for testing.
And stray dogs from around the area got the chance to find a new home over the weekend. Bailey Majors shows us how.
Saturday afternoon, Troy University's animal advocates teamed up with Pike County Animal Shelter for their quarterly Bow Wow Powwow event.
And it's adoption day for the animals to come out from the city shelter, have the opportunity to get some fresh air and meet some new friends and eat some snacks and hopefully find their forever home.
8 furry friends were brought out to be adopted, and over half were able to find a new home.
I came out as a volunteer today because I heard about the Shelter Coalition and the work that they were doing. So I came out to help some animals find homes, and I ended up adopting one that's going to come home with us.
Workers and volunteers at the Bow Wow Powwow said they were pleased with the adoptions and were happy the animals were able to get some fresh air.
Even if we don't adopt any dogs during the day, it gives the dogs a chance to get outside and play. So for that alone, we love doing this event, and it's just bonus that we're able to find them new homes too.
It's great to be able to just play with them and exercise them because it's really the only attention they get.
A member from Troy University's Animal Advocates encourages students to get involved with organizations that give back to the community.
I really think it's important just to come out and help shape the community. We, as students, we don't really take a part in the community like we should, and wanting to help as best we can, then I think you really get involved and learn a lot.
Bailey Majors, Troy TrojanVision News.
You can adopt an animal anytime by calling Animal Control at 334-372-2714 and asking to set up an adoption appointment. And Troy's dance program had a chance to show off their fancy footwork over the weekend.
But it wasn't just the dancing of students on display. Derica James explains.
This weekend, the Troy University Dance Department decided to showcase students' talents not only in dance but also in choreography.
It's a student showcase put together by nothing but students of the dance and theater department. We all come together and put together our own certain pieces about just different stories of life story, love stories, or just entertainment.
The dances range from musicals to hip-hop routines, Wagstaff says that his dance was all about love.
My dance was called The Love Story, and it was basically like a hip-hop love story about how a female was in a relationship with a guy, and the guy was an abusive alcoholic, and he didn't treat her right, so she finally went on with her life and met another guy. And when the first guy that she was with, when he found out that she was with the new guy, he had the attitude, well, if I can't have her, nobody can have her. But it was just basically a hip-hop love story, kind of like a hip-hop love story based off of the West Side Story, if you're familiar with that.
And since the dances were made by students, they had to be taught by students. And as Wagstaff says, it wasn't an easy task.
It was a long process. It was a very long process. It was a great experience. I learned that if you just stick with it and actually just train on a daily basis, that you'll get better over time. And that's just with anything. You'll get better over time if you just stick with it.
Family and friends came out to support the students in their hard work and says that it really paid off.
I know they've been working, like I said, many hours, and I could very much see it from last year. I came for the spring showcase when my daughter was just a freshman, and I could definitely see an improvement in just that time from last spring to this fall. Their growth, their strength, they work together as a team.
Wagstaff says this is a showcase that every dance student should try to participate in.
I tell them to come out and audition for the showcase. I mean, like, you have nothing to lose. I mean, either you get in or you don't, but I mean, you'll never know until you try. So I encourage anybody to come out and just audition and give it what they got.
Derek James, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Up next for the Department of Theater and Dance is a series of student-directed fall shorts. Shows are Tuesday and Thursday nights starting at 7:30 in the studio upstairs in Malone Hall.
And now taking a look at news from around the state, police and community groups say they're working to find a way to end a spate of violence in the city after several shootings left 3 people dead and 22 injured in the past 2 months. Montgomery Public Safety Director Chris Murphy said that police are working hard to develop new approaches to the evolving problem.
Alabama's new immigration law is bringing with it mounds of paperwork and lots of red tape for employers who want to make sure their employees are properly documented and in compliance. Seminars are being conducted by several groups representing small businesses to teach employers how to comply with the new law.
The Republican leaders of the Alabama legislature are headed to Birmingham to preview their legislative goals for 2012. A spokesman for Senate President Pro Tem Del Marsh and House Speaker Mike Hubbard say that the legislative session starting February 7th will mark Republicans' second year of being in control of the state legislature.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, the Trojan football team hit the road for their final non-conference matchup of the season Saturday. Danielle Percival will be in with all the details of that game and more in sports.
But first, Penn State administrators accused of covering up a child sex scandal, and that's after the break, so stay with us.
Take my hand and start a brand new day. Underneath everything we are all people. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
Hi, I'm Mia Hamm. As an athlete, I know injuries happen quickly, so I've teamed up with the American Association of Orthodontists to ask athletes to play it safe. Wear mouth guards, face masks, and helmets to prevent injuries. Visit braces.org.
There's a lot more to somebody being successful in society than just their diploma. We're in the business of making well-rounded individuals.
They taught me so much more than skills. At Troy, they truly believe that one person can make a difference.
We want to educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, the body to act. We're not trying to be all things to all people, but what we do very well.
Troy University, in class, online, within reach. Troy.edu.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
2 former administrators at Penn State University turned themselves in today as a sex scandal rocking the campus widens.
Drew Levinson has the latest on the investigation from State College, Pennsylvania.
Penn State's former athletic director and vice president surrendered to authorities on charges they failed to report suspected child sex abuse. Tim Curley and Gary Schultz are accused of covering up a sex scandal involving the school's former football defensive coordinator, Jerry Sandusky. Police arrested the 67-year-old Saturday, charging him with sexually abusing 8 boys for more than a decade. Prosecutors say in 2002, Curley and Schultz found out about an alleged assault that took place in a shower on campus and failed to notify police immediately.
Their inaction likely allowed a child predator to continue to victimize children for many, many years.
The administrators are also charged with lying to the grand jury about what they knew. Both resigned from their positions but say they did nothing wrong.
Sandusky was a prominent figure on campus, especially here at the football stadium. For 3 decades, he was a top assistant to legendary head football coach Joe Paterno, and he helped lead the Nittany Lions to 2 national championships.
This is not a case about football. It's not a case about universities. It's a case about children who have had their innocence stolen from them, and a culture that did nothing to stop it or prevent it from happening to others.
Police started investigating the sex abuse allegations 3 years ago and say the incidents happened before and after Sandusky retired in 1999. Prosecutors say Sandusky preyed on boys he met through his charity for children and that there may be more victims out there. Drew Levinson, CBS News, State College, Pennsylvania.
And now Danielle Percival joins us with sports.
So Danielle, we're back to Trojan football on Saturdays now. That's right, we're back to the regular schedule. Been kind of off of that for a couple of weeks, hoping maybe getting back on that normal schedule would bring back the wins. Not the case, but let's get into it. Saturday, the Trojan football team was looking to get back on the right track, stepping outside of conference play. The Trojans had lost 3 in a row and were looking to avoid their first 4-game losing streak since 2006. However, the midshipmen proved to be too much for this team to handle. In their final non-conference matchup of the year, the Trojans traveled to Annapolis looking to take down the midshipmen. But at the end of the day, Navy pulled away from Troy and handed the Trojans their 4th loss in a row by a score of 42-14. The main story heading into the game was how the Trojan defense would handle Navy's triple option offense. But according to head coach Larry Blakeney, the issue turned out to be the Trojan offense and the misfires at the beginning of the game.
We got off to a pretty good start in the game. We got a stop, I believe, against Navy and got going offensively and looked like we were going to move the football readily and have 2 turnovers on 2 drives. And it was just like you stuck a pin in a balloon. You know, we went flat.
The Trojans were down by just a touchdown heading into the second quarter, but the midshipmen tacked on 28 more points before the half to lead the Trojans 35-0 at the break. Despite quarterback Corey Robinson making the start, quarterback Jamie Hampton led the Trojans coming out of halftime. Blakeney said it was an attempt to light a spark in this team.
Trying to do something to generate some energy and hopefully something positive. Sometimes you can take a quarterback out and let him stand over there and watch, and he sees more than he does when he's out there. Or it motivates them in some case.
Despite having a record of 2-6, this team still has the chance to win out and finish the season at 500. Defensive tackle Kyle Lucas says it's all about this team pulling together.
We got to mesh well together. A lot of things got to come together. But basically it just comes down to executing on Saturdays. And we haven't been doing that the past 4 games.
The Trojans are currently in their first 4-game losing streak since 2006, and Blakeney says this team is in uncharted waters and looking for a way out.
And we may be in a state of fog, sort of, and we're trying to find a way out of the fog. And the fog can be totally separated, and the light can come through with 1 win.
And the Trojans are hoping to pick up that win as they now return home and return to conference play for a homecoming matchup against North Texas. That game will be on Saturday with game time set for noon. After a close loss to Middle Tennessee Friday night, the Trojan volleyball team hoped to regroup on Saturday, but were unable to against another top conference team. The Trojans dropped their 3rd straight match at home, falling to Western Kentucky in straight sets at Sartain Hall on Saturday afternoon, 3-0. The Trojans were never able to get above 20 points in the 3 sets. The loss drops Troy to 15-13 overall and 5-9 in conference play. The Trojans will return to the floor against Florida Atlantic on Friday at 5 and finish out the regular season against FIU at 7 on Saturday night. But in action in Sartain Hall tonight, the Trojan men's basketball team gets their first chance to hit the court against an opponent. While the team has not officially opened this season, they will play host to West Alabama in an exhibition matchup tonight at 7.
While the match does not count on the season record, head coach Don Maestri says it is still of importance.
This is a big for us tonight. We're approaching it as if it was a real game. I know our kids are, because the first time they put a uniform on, it had Trojans on the front. So it's a big thing for all of them, and it's a great experience for us.
The exhibition match will be tonight at 7 in Sartain Hall, and admission is free. So Tiffany, Rachel, not the best weekend of Trojan sports. Wish we could have come home with a win for football. And best of luck to the volleyball team as they're heading into the last matches of their season. But there's a chance for the weekend to be saved. It's Monday night. The basketball team will be in action, so best of luck to them tonight.
Best of luck, and hopefully there will be a positive end to a great homecoming week.
That's right.
A win. Hope so. Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you.
Thank you. And still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, we'll get a preview of the upcoming men's basketball season.
Plus, it was a pretty cloudy day today with a cool breeze. Will the sunshine show up for good this homecoming week? Derica?
Well, Rachel, you might wish that homecoming was last week, but I have more on that later in weather.
At the heart of what we do in the College of Business is care for the student.
It's a personal thing with the students. We feel like the students are our most important asset, our most important products.
I have never been anywhere where I've known so many students on first name basis. They stop by socially to talk to.
So we understand who our students are, and we're trying to help them be better in their areas of professional work.
My colleagues and I work together to create programs that our students need.
What we try to do at Troy University is provide an experience to students that not only provide the curriculum that allows them to be successful in the business world, but we also try to expand their horizons to reach greater opportunities that maybe they didn't think they were capable of before.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
Now, Derica James joins us for a look at weather.
So, Derica, it's been comfortable during the day and at the beginning of the early evenings. Is it going to continue to stay those cool, comfortable temperatures, or will it get colder, or will it go back to warmer? Like, what should we be expecting this week?
Well, the temperature is going to be just fine, but we won't get as much sunshine as we got last week. But I'll get into that later. First, let's look at our campus snapshot. As you can see, it's a beautiful day outside. Again, it's a little sunshine coming through, but not much. And as we go into our current conditions, you see that it is cloudy. The temperature is coming in at 71 degrees, dew point at 51 degrees, humidity at 46%, barometers at 30.19 inches and falling, with winds coming from the east at 6 miles per hour. Today's statistics, a high of 74, low of 49. There was no rain today. Sunrise at 6:04 a.m. and the sun should set at 4:49 p.m. As we look at our temperatures around the state, we see Huntsville coming in at 68, Birmingham at 74, Montgomery at 73, Phoenix City at 73, Troy at 71, Dalton at 73, and Mobile coming in at 74. And you see all around Alabama, the skies are mostly cloudy. And as we go into current temperatures around the southeast, we see that those temperatures are being basically consistent throughout the southeast, mostly 70, high 60-degree weather. So there's not much difference. Some areas are actually seeing about a low 80s in Texas, but mostly 70s and 60s. As we look at the current conditions throughout the whole United States, we see that the eastern portion is seeing nice high temperatures, 50s, 60s, 70-degree weather. But on the west coast, they're seeing some very low temperatures, 40 and 30s. So they're getting that very cool temperature. As we look at current service, we see over in the west, they have a lot of high pressure system giving them nice clear weather for right now. But as you can see, as we come into the Midwest, they have some systems here and there with the stationary front coming through. So it might pick up as the day go on. But as we look closer into our area, we see there's nothing much going on, light winds here and there, but we are staying clear. And as we look at the next 48 hours, we see that between tonight and tomorrow, parts of Alabama may be seeing some rain, probably about an inch or so. But our area should stay clear. We only have about a 10% chance, but you never know what will happen. And as we look at the whole U.S., we see that a lot of areas, especially in the Midwest, we'll be seeing some snow and some mixture of snow and rain. So they want to be on the lookout for that. And some areas are going to see some almost to an inch to 3 inches of rain. So, but our area is mostly going to stay clear. Looking in on Tuesday, we see there's not much going on in our area. Probably some windy conditions here and there, but over to the Midwest, that's where all the real rain, severe rain is going to be. So if you're going over into that area anytime to this week, you want to go look out for that. So as we move on to Wednesday, we see our area still going to stay clear, but most of Alabama may be seeing rain. And as we move into Thursday, you see that rain has moved past. We're seeing about a 10-20% chance in the corner right here where we are, but we shouldn't really experience anything. Friday is going to be a nice clear day. So as we look at tonight's forecast, it's going to be mostly clear, light winds, no rain tonight, with winds coming from the north at 5 miles per hour with a low of 49. Then for tomorrow, we see a mixture of clouds and sunshine with light winds coming from the east-southeast at 8 miles per hour with a high of 79. As we look at our class outlook, you can see that the temperature pretty much dramatically rise over the next hours, getting to 3 p.m. with a high of 76. So go out and enjoy. And as we look at our 4-day forecast, we see that most of the week is going to be partly cloudy with highs in the 70s and 60s. But as you can see on Thursday night, that low is going to dip really low to 34. So as you can see, this is not the ideal homecoming week that we wanted. We wanted last week to be homecoming where we had a lot of sunshine. But the temperature is going to be great to go out and watch the boys play.
Oh yeah, it definitely will, and I'll be out there to support them.
That's right.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.